YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, we are gonna talk about the Infernoids and Snake-Eyes. Now, I did said in my previous video, or was it in my community tab, that I will not continue with the Snake-Eyes and Infernoid. Yeah, mainly it breaks from time to time. The Snake-Eyes was a really good starter in most of your combos. But after a while, seeing some Infernoid cards or drawing into a copy of Infernoid is just so infuriating that I really scratched off the whole idea of the Infernoid and Snake-Eyes. I think this would be a lot better if you'll get the new supports in the later run for Master Duel, the one from the terminal set thingy. But yeah, as of the moment, this is still workable though. So I just removed the spell and trap cards for the Infernoids and just focused on the monsters itself. More specifically, just summoned a copy of Decatron to the field and then dump a copy of either one of those Infernoid monsters that you need during that turn. Preferably, either one copy of Anunka for a spell and trap card negate, or a Deviati that you can dump to the graveyard for a monster negate. That way, these two cards alone won't break you out if ever you draw into a copy during your next turn. Also, the best part about Infernoids is that they are spell summoned. The downside is they tend to occupy most of your starting hands, so that's why we're just limiting ourselves to one copy of each. Flamberge is also a level 8 that you don't really want to start off in your hand. So yeah, that would limit you with only one copy of Flamberge. You can just get a hold of this with a copy of any of your Ash or a copy of Oak, or even a copy of your field spell, the Divine Temple. So that's practically fine. So yeah, the gameplay is, if you draw into a copy of your Black Witch or your Ash or any Snake-Eyes monster, just go with your normal combo into either a copy of Appaloosa to the field, or Blue Whale, the Flamberge, or the IP Masquerena on the back row. If you have an extra normal summon, you can just get a hold of a copy of the Decatron, which you can just summon to the field and then drop a copy of Anunka to the field for a spell trap card negate, or a Deviati, which is a monster negate. Typical hand traps that you're adding for the deck is a copy of Drill and Lockbird, which is a really good card against Snake-Eyes, Super Heavies, and I think Mathmex works with this as well, but not to an extent. They can still play through the Drill and Lockbird. DD Crow, however, is a really formidable card against Mathmex as well. Snake-Eyes also. We're running 3 copies of Nibiru and 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent, just so that we can get some board breakers up and running if you're going second, which it helped me a lot in some of my games. Triple Imperms, the typical Called by the Graves and Cross Out. The War Art Thou is another good card as well. If they Imperm or Effect Veiler your Ash, I think you can just search out a copy of your Poplar from your deck to your hand and then summon the Poplar so that you can continue on with your combo. Extra deck, most of the cards here are typically utilities for the Snake-Eyes. So yeah, the level 1s for the Assembled Nightingale, the Downward Magician into the Zeus. Then the normal cards or the staple cards for the Snake-Eyes deck. The Link Turbo, the Phoenix or the Nightmare Monsters, the Hita Charmer, the IP Masquerena, the Blue Whale with the Promethean Princess, Appaloosa, and then the copy of Access Code. Access Code because I really need a non-target pop to be on the field. Your Synchro Monsters are, you can just remove the Axel Synchron here, but typically Formula Synchron is a really good card as well with a Bar on the floor. Since Decatron is a level 1 tuner, you can just pair that one with another non-tuner level 1. It allows you to draw one more card. If you have the Flamberge dragon to the field, you can gain access to the Bar on the floor to the field. But yeah, that is basically it, boys and girls. Infernoids and the Snake-Eyes paired up. Who knows? It actually worked. Let's go towards the replays. There are 4 replays that I want to showcase to you guys. It is kind of quick though, so let's get to it. Yeah, see you guys in the replay. Okay guys, so here we are with the first replay. So 1 Ash, 1 Maxi, 1 Black Witch, 1 Where Art Thou, and a copy of the Seeker. So we go first with a copy of Seeker just to bait out a copy of Ash, which he doesn't have. So go for the Devastator to the field, gain access to the copy of Original Sinful Spoils, and then we just do our combo. So at this point, if you manage to search out all of the cards or place them correctly, you'll have a board with a copy of Blue Whale or a copy of Promethean Princess, plus a Flamberge and a back row of your very own IP Masquerena. But yeah, there we go. Link Turbo first to the field, go for Poplar, put it in the back row, go for the copy of the Divine Temple, getting a copy of your Flamberge Dragon to the back row. Then for Oak, get a copy of your Poplar. He might have a copy of Nibiru here, so we're gonna go for the War Art Thou and get a copy of our Decatron. normal summon our Decatron here and gain access to the monster negate, which is Deviati, which I was right. So he got a copy of Nibiru here. And then we just use the effect of Decatron, which copied the effect of Deviati. So monster negate, banish that Nibiru, and then gain access to the Ash with a copy of Oak. And then with the Flamberge Dragon that was sent to the graveyard, we summon our 2 monsters there. So with that, go for IP Masquerena. And then go with a copy of Promethean Princess. So we summon a copy of the Flamberge, and then get a copy of IP Masquerena on the back row. So take note, I just ended my turn here. The thing about this is I cannot summon the IP Masquerena. This is a minor misplay on my part, but it's still perfectly fine though, because yeah, the monster negate for the Deviati. So I can just tribute the Promethean Princess for this one. So it was perfectly fine though. So there we go. Our guy is gonna summon a copy of Guiding Quim. We negate it with a copy of Decatron that has the effect of Deviati. Then we're free to move with our Flamberge Dragon, special summoning the IP Masquerena to the field, and go with the same monsters, the Appaloosa plus the copy of the other Snake-Eyes monster from the Flamberge. So there we go. And we use also Decatron as a material so that we can special summon it back to the field with a copy of Oak. And the reason for this is we can just dump another copy of Infernoid monster from your deck to the graveyard. So there we go. Go for Appaloosa for a monster negate, or a 3 monster negate. Use the effect of Link Turbo because I had like a minor misplay a while ago, because I did not summon Link Turbo first before summoning Promethean Princess. So there we go. Oak will get a copy of Decatron, and then Decatron will dump a copy of Anunka to the graveyard. So that is a spell and trap or negate, which I will target the Branded Fusion if he uses it. So a really good board. If ever he attacks, we go for a copy of Link Turbo. It's still manageable. The deck is good. That is our first game, guys. Let's go for game number 2. Okay, guys, so here we are with game number 2. We have 1 DD Crow, 1 Oak, 1 Nibiru, 1 for 1, and a copy of Where Art Thou. So, at this point, we go for Where Art Thou because we don't really have a strong starter here. So we go for Ash on the field, hoping that it won't be negated. So Poplar will be searched and added to the hand. Use the effect of Poplar, spell something to the field, gaining access to the Divine Temple, and then gaining access to the Flamberge to the back row. We'll link off the Poplar, use the Poplar on the graveyard, put it on the back row, and then use the effect of Where Art Thou, getting a copy of Decatron, normal summoning our Decatron, and go dumping a copy of Deviati for a monster negate. So that's pretty good though, and the best part about this is you can just dump any Infernoid monsters that you'll basically need, as long as you have copies of Decatron, of course. So we go for IP Masquerena, the typical combo for this deck as well. Then Promethean Princess, spell summon a copy of your Flamberge. Flamberge will use the effect, putting our IP Masquerena on the back row. He will try to negate or banish our copy of IP Masquerena. Luckily, our Decatron can monster negate. Now at this point, I was scared if he has Nibiru here, so yeah, luckily he doesn't, or he does not have a copy of Nibiru. So go for Amblue Whale from the 2 monsters in the field, and we have a board. So that is typically what you'll see here as a board. So during our opponent's draw phase, we special summon our IP Masquerena, and with that he's going to use the effect. Use the effect of Decatron, tribute itself. Now that would be like a minor problem, but it's still perfectly fine because you can just use the materials from, or you can just use Flamberge Dragon to spell summon the Oak, and then Oak will summon the Decatron, like we did earlier. So there we go. Negate the effect of the Bestial Rebellion. Use the spell summon the Ash and the Oak from the Flamberge. Oak will spell summon the Decatron. Now I could have just chained the effect of Link Kuribo here, but I was too like my judgment was so clouded that I forgot the effect of what you call this, Promethean Princess, that it locks me into spell summoning only fire monsters on the field. But yeah, we're going up against Dogmatika Shaddoll Invoke, so It's not really like a formidable deck, but it has its lockdowns as well, so we need to be more careful with that one. And then there we go. Black Witch in the field. It negated its search. And he just attacked my Palooza. So, yeah. I really thought he has a copy of Invocation there, but regardless, it was perfectly fine. Alright, so here we are we have one copy of Patrulia, one copy of the Black Witch, one Nibiru, one for one triple tactics talent. So, we're going first as usual. We're going for Black Witch. And this is a mirror match, by the way, for Snake-Eyes. Well, not typically a mirror match because we were using Infernoid, but yeah. He's using Snake-Eyes here. So, kind of like a pure Snake-Eyes against my deck is kind of hard. So, but yeah, our Ash got popped because of the driver, or the Gamma, I mean. So, we have no choice but to use the effect of the triple tactics, draw 2 cards. Luckily, we got good cards there. Going for a copy of Black Witch so that we can use the effect of the Seeker. Then we go for a copy of Oak, spell summoning the Ash, spell summoning our copy of Poplar. Poplar will get a copy of our Divine Temple. Divine Temple will bring out a copy of Flamberge to the back row. And then the Poplar will be adding on the back row as well. So with this, I think we don't really have a really good board here. But yeah, the additional draw was kind of necessary. So Cold Buy was drawn into, and then we just set the Cold Buy. So, we're just hoping for the right timing here, which I think that was perfectly fine. And I made a misplay here. So, when you summon the card, I shouldn't have chained it. Negates my effect of my field spell, which is kind of sucky. So, yeah, I really forgot the effect of the field spell there. It's going for original Sinful Spoils, special summoning the monster. So, the typical combo for the Snake-Eyes though. Let's fast forward that. Poplar to the field. Poplar will get a copy of the field spell as well. Gaining access to the Oak from to the back row for some reason. And then use the effect of Ash. Now at this point, I just need to negate the effect of Ash here. And with that, I should have gone with a copy of Flamberge when he summoned the Flamberge. But it's still perfectly fine, I think. So yeah, tell me in the comment section below. Maybe I should have like waited for the Flamberge to be summoned. But yeah, it's okay. The Hita was so difficult here, and then gaining access to the Oak. So he has 2 Oaks on the field. So if ever I summon a monster like that, he can just spell summon the back row from the Oak. So it was kind of hard. Luckily, this guy just removed his field spell, and then you could have just used the token there, my guy, but yeah, sure, go for a 3k damage. So at this point, we drew into a copy of Decatron during our turn. Now, I just wanted, the dump is really important because I already have like 2 Infernoid monsters plus the Decatron that we have in the field. So if ever this will be negated or destroyed, my purpose here is just to bring out the Deviati or the Anunka to the graveyard so that we can spell summon it for a board wipe. So it's either destroy all monsters or destroy all spell and trap cards. So with that, our guy's gonna go for Imperm here, targeting my Decatron. We use the effect of our Link Kuriboh. There we go. So the dump was successful. So this is a spell and trap card, destroy. All I need now is the copy of Anunka in the graveyard, and then we're good. So there we go. Black Witch will get a copy of our original Sinful Spoils. Go for original. Spell summon our second copy of Decatron. I could have gone with a copy of Ash here, but yeah, I just remembered we just negated it. So yeah, it's okay. He's gonna summon the monsters, blah, yada yada yada. And then my choice here is going for Hita here. So Hita will gain access to a copy of his very own Flamberge Dragon to the field. And then putting my own Flamberge Dragon into my back row. Then going for a copy of Promethean Princess. Getting a hold of one Decatron again. And then, yeah. The board wipe was soon to happen, and he can't actually recover from that because he already used the effect of his Flamberge, which it would be really good for us. So So that is basically our games and replays, boys and girls. What are your thoughts on the deck list? And hopefully we'll get the new supports for the Infernoids. I think that would be a really good support for this archetype. But anyways, that is it for today, guys. Keep safe, good luck. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next deck profile or video. God bless.